Welcome to the September 9th, 2020.
Listed in the personnel rules really are just outdated with our last couple of sessions of negotiations with our collective bargaining groups. These have all been increased. So this would increase those to make those match. So that's pretty much just a housekeeping change. The next section, which is specific to sick leave, is a benefit addition. Last year in open enrollment in October, we added domestic partners to our insurance and dental plans, some of our benefits. So our employees have to go through this affidavit process and provide some appropriate documentation for proof of the domestic partnership, and they're able to be added onto our benefits now. So adding this language into our sick leave, and you'll see this again in our bereavement section, would add the domestic partner under the immediate family definition. So, and generally where you would see this in sick leave is if the employee's domestic partner had a significant surgery or something where a doctor's required in our personnel rules, which is the beginning of our fiscal year. This amendment will reset it at the last pay period in our fiscal year because we don't want it to reset before our pay period ends, because the bereavement leave, the employees qualified for within 30 days of the death of the immediate family member, and we just wanted to add an exclusion there that also says unless otherwise approved by HR. We have some odd situations that fall with services and transportation, and we would like to be able to look at those. And then the last section, which is attendance, this sentence sits in there that I don't really even know what it means. So all departments shall keep daily attendance records of employees which shall be reported to the HR director on the form and on the dates he shall specify. So this is just outdated language. We have time cards. Supervisors approve those. They come to HR and payroll for processing, and that process works very well. So I would recommend deleting that sentence. So the proposed amendments were discussed in our executive team meeting. They were sent to all three of our employee groups with no concerns noted. Authorizing the amendments would add the benefit of the domestic partner and then just provide clarity with the personnel rules and by putting it under the immediate family definition. So with that, I'm happy to stand for any questions.
Thank you, Melissa. Seems pretty straightforward. Any questions?
Oh, just a comment. I've been around a long time. We use those daily attendance logs. The lieutenant would mark it and then save it to send off at the end of the year. But so old. Melissa, I just really appreciate that you put everything in red, the changes. That's really great. Helps us a lot. And you've reviewed this with your team and the collective bargaining teams. And Amy's right, it's straightforward.
Well, I would just, on the domestic partner qualifications that, once I looked at that, there is actually a fair amount of documentation, so we don't just, take their word for it or something, so that's...
We really want to preserve the benefit for those that qualify.
Yep, and so I think that's reasonable. Also on that attendance thing, as far as outdated, I see noted on the date, he shall specify. So we move beyond just the he. So
Great.
Anyway, I think we're good.
Thank you.
So I would make a motion to recommend the council approve amendments to Rule 11 attendance and leaves, in particular, Section 3 vacation leave, Section 4 sick leave, and Section 5 bereavement leave, and Section 9 attendance.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opportunity. It is all being donated by the Fleshner Foundation. Mr. Fleshner has a great backstory to the foundation and how his family loves Coeur d'Alene, and he has been working on this personally. We got to meet him at our last Arts Commission And so what I'm showing you is gone through our public process. So back in January of this year, we sent out a call for artists through a software program, callforentry.org, also known as CAFE. We had a number of people want to be a party to this opportunity. In fact, 77 applications came in from artists throughout the Northwest. We put together a selection committee made up of donors, an architect, library trustees, and a student rep. They worked through those 5 finalists and finally agreed upon an artist named Pete Goldlust of Eugene, Oregon. He was provided $1,000 again from the foundation to prepare the drawings and make a 3D maquette. This has been proposed. It's 1/8 inch aluminum powder coated. We love that for the longevity. They would come off the wall by about 1 inch with the hangers that go on there, so it'll be quite lightweight. We've done similar types of applications on the Coeur d'Alene. Before I answer any questions you might have, I would suggest to you that before I answer any questions you might have, I would suggest
illustration that we got that there's one more panel to the right of their children's library. So it's quite a piece of art here. So,
The bear, it's to the right of the
Yeah.
bear.
yeah.
And these animals are Northwest specific. You
Yeah.
won't see any octopus up there or any other items that might not be as native or local.
Maybe Sasquatch?
Maybe.
Okay.
It's really great.
And I'll just add that so much, like Troy mentioned, so much work has been done on this, along with our generous donors of this art piece. And they've been right alongside, looking at different renditions and what the building can support. But I think this is just a perfect piece and is going to draw a lot of attention from, like Troy said, the kids at McEwen.
Will you have a grand opening with your donor?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Great.
Ribbon cutting or something fun like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to make a motion, Madam Chair. I would move to recommend council approve the final design for the library lower level art project, and this should go on the consent calendar.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next on our agenda is item number 3, appointment of the Coeur d'Alene Poet Laureate, Jennifer Pissarro.
Thank you, council members. You have approved officially to entertain a poet laureate, and so your working committee, known as the Arts Commission, went forward and did this monumental amount of work. This is for a 3-year term beginning October 1st. There's a key reason for that. We'd like to have the arts ceremony, have a poet laureate at it early in October of this year. $1,500 paid from the art fund per year, times 3 is $4,500. We have a very extensive list of to-dos for this particular individual. They are listed here on the screen. Again, this is work and outward bound visibility for poetry and other literary arts within our community. I believe you can say you're the only city in Idaho to have a poet laureate, at least subject to at this time and all the other disclosures I can get in there. Again, selection panel worked through this, 2 Coeur d'Alene Arts Commissioners, 1 member of the literary community, member of the community, and of course, a youth representative. So we did an open, we closed it August 9th, total of 6 came in. August 12th, your selection committee went to work, and we are thrilled to have Jennifer Pissarro, graduated University of Montana, lives down south of us in Boise. She's been on board of directors, secretary, donation, garden lead, shared harvest community garden, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. So has roots domiciled right here in Idaho and has many creative writing publications. Again, she has reached out in a number of different areas, including those that happen to be incarcerated. creative writing program in Kootenai County Jail. There's an outreach that I probably didn't anticipate speaking about this particular year. She's very involved in storytelling and poetry reading, nursing homes, assisted living facilities. So what appears to be the best of individuals that want to reach out and get those positive words throughout our community. A youth open mic. So again, she is very, very well versed in this area.
I'm excited to see the benefits of this program. So with that, I stand for any questions.
Oh, thank you. Oh, well,
Aye.
Aye. Madam Chair, since this was already approved by council, I think it's good on the consent.
I agree. Thank you for that. And our last item of the day is approval of the purchase of an art piece titled O'Keefe 8.
One more item. This is pretty much a financial transaction, council members. You'll see the price here of $8,500. Unfortunately, someone chose to vandalize this on the 4th of July and knock it off a very solid base and do damage to this marble. It stands about 3 feet tall, 1 foot wide, 1 foot deep. Our team at the streets department does a lot of work with rock, so we believe we can fix this. Here's the financial situation. Had the artist sold this for $8,500 to someone from the public, 25% of that would go to the art fund. So that would have netted the artist $6,375. Since this art piece has been out there, and we have said we would insure it, our deductible with our insurance company has gone to $10,000. So as you look at that, we would have to pay this artist, let's use these numbers, $6,375 and get nothing for it. So you have a finance person that said, wow, maybe we could get something for this expenditure rather than having the artist come here to pick it up to repair it. So there's a negotiation that took place with this artist, and we came down to a $5,000 number for the art piece. Doesn't have to come. Steps going forward, we no longer insure unless the city damages our art current pieces because of that deductible being at $10,000 and the goal for the city to have pieces that are not $80,000. So lesson learned, probably pill that we have to take in this one, but in the spirit of negotiation, this artist has been very good. We actually like a lot of this artist's work. We keep bringing it back in and in again. So the O'Keefe 8 is a $5,000 expenditure coming from the art funds. Location to be determined in the future. We'll probably keep it off Sherman Avenue so that we can keep the art's current. So a little bit different way to acquire public art, but it meets all the qualifications and it has a real financial piece to it, meaning we could spend money and have nothing at the end of it. I'd stand for any questions you might have.
Madam Chair, thank you. Well, Troy, it's a beautiful piece of art, and I think that your negotiating has really worked out the best that we could hope for at this point in time. So I think it's great.
Yeah, I'm in the same place. Sounds like everybody worked together in the spirit of what we had to work with. And so, given that, I would make a motion to recommend the council approve the purchase of an art currents piece known as O'Keefe 8 by artist Patrick Sullivan in the amount of $5,000.
Second.
Thank you. And one further piece of discussion, I would just use this opportunity to share with our citizens that if you see one of our pieces being damaged or defaced or have any concerns with that you immediately notify the city or our police department, because these are such a fabulous addition to our community. With that, we have a motion.